Hey guys, how are you doing? I just wanted to have a conversation about church. So, I went for a walk a few days ago and I actually passed one of the churches that I went to as a child. And it kind of just made me think about a conversation I had a few weeks ago regarding church, the importance of going to church, and kind of how it measures your level of Christianity. And I just kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit from my perspective, of course. And so here we go. First of all, in my humble opinion, I don't believe that people who go to church are more Christians. And I don't think that people who stay home are less of Christians. I think that Christianity is a little bit more than just walking into somebody's church. I think it's more of an internal thing. You carry God in your heart, you worship Him where you go, and etc. However, in this conversation, there were some discussions about the right church versus the wrong church. And for me, I've been to enough churches to feel like I haven't found the right church, and I don't think that I will. I had this experience where I went to a church and I was given a $10 bill for the offering plate. And you know them services be long, honey. So I got thirsty. And they had a vending machine at this particular church, so I decided to break the $10 bill to get me a drink. So now I have $5 and some change, like coins. So when the offering plate comes around now, I put in the $5 bill and the coins. It was like I broke a law. People were gasping, and I'm not even exaggerating. So I was confused. So the person I was with, I can't remember if it was a family member or a family friend. It could have been my godmother. Basically told me, you're not supposed to put coins in the offering plate. So I was like, oh, sorry. So I took the coins out. And now they're freaking out even more because it's like, but you're not supposed to take money out of the offering plate. So for me, I'm like, so what do you expect me to do here? Like, once I took the coins out and they said whatever, I didn't even bother putting the coins back in because it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. I kept the coin. They went on with the $5 bill. The service went on and cool. However, after that, and I was fairly young at the time, I feel like I want to say I was about 7, 8 years old. But after that, for that particular service, everyone who was friendly to me at the beginning, hi, welcome to the church. We hope to see you again, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly they were cold. They didn't have nothing for me. They were talking to everybody but me. It was very uncomfortable. And that has kind of been my experience at pretty much every single church that I've been to. I've been in situations where I would make a knee-jerk decision to go to church. And so I'm not necessarily dressed in my Sunday's best. I would go as I am. As they say, come as you are. That's cap. Because when you do that, they're looking at you funny. Oh, she couldn't put herself together properly. This, that. It's all about a show to me. Who has the biggest hat? Who has the nicest threads? Who's in the less controversy? And at the end of the day, church is a building with human beings. People who also make mistakes. People who judge. People who aren't perfect. So for me to basically get the word from somebody who may be hypocritical in their lifestyle doesn't resonate with me. As well as I don't feel like I've experienced any form of safety in the church. I never feel like I can just breathe and be comfortable. I never felt like I can talk to the pastor or the deacon or, sister this or sister that about any issues that I have, because anytime that I've seen it done, it's always, oh, just pray about it. Oh, just pray about it. And that's fine. But sometimes people can use a little bit more support than just, pray on it. As well as another thing that I've seen that's crazy to me is they stress how important it is to put money in the offering. It helps with the upkeep, the rent or mortgage, whatever they're paying, etc. Fine, right? And they really push. Oh, you're doing a service. It's great. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. You're going to be blessed for it, etc. And that's great. However, let one of their members go through a hard time. What does that member get in return? Prayers. No, we're going to, create some kind of fundraiser to make the money. No, if anybody wants to donate. No, the proceeds from the offering this time around is going to go to such and such. I have never seen that. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I've seen it in movies, and I'm sure maybe someone's experienced it before. I personally have never seen that. I've always seen somebody struggling, and they would go to the church like, hey, I'm struggling. And it would just be like, oh, yes, let's send prayers. And it's like, that's great. Thank you. But more can be done. Then you see the pastors in like super expensive cars, huge homes, and their congregation is like struggling, certain members. So I don't feel comfortable, because sometimes I feel like the foundation of church is disingenuous. You hear a lot of different stories, just, sleeping with this person. I get it. Again, everybody's human. But because of that fact, I don't think that should be the deciding factor of what your level of Christianity is. I don't feel like that should measure how committed you are to Christianity. And I don't think that you should be condemned as a Christian because you don't feel like getting up and going into these spaces, especially if you feel like those spaces aren't serving you. That's my opinion, but I do respect anybody who feels like they get a different experience from church. They get a more of a genuine experience. They feel comfortable in the space. They feel safe in the space. That's great. But I also want to stress that regardless if somebody goes to church or not, that does not make you any less of a Christian. That's my perspective. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.